Hello, I'm Father Louis Scurti, and I welcome you to Friends of the Word. We're here at Annunciation Church in Wayne, New Jersey, and today the theme of the homily is for the 22nd Sunday in Ordinary Time, humility. Great theme. If you'd like to hear from us or have us correspond with you, contact me at my Hotmail, lscurti@hotmail.com. Further information, go on our website, fatherlouscurtiministry.com. God bless you, and keep the word alive and well. The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. On a Sabbath, Jesus went to dine at the home of one of the leading Pharisees, and the people were there, observing him carefully. He told a parable to those who had been invited, noticing how they were choosing places of honor at the banquet. When you are invited by someone to a wedding banquet, do not recline at table at the place of honor. A more distinguished guest than you may have been invited by him, and the host who invited both of you may approach you and say, "Give your place to this man." And then you would have to proceed with embarrassment to take the lowest place. Rather, when you are invited, go and take the lowest place, so that when the host comes to you, he may say, "My friend, move up higher to a higher position." Then you will enjoy the esteem of your companions at the table. For everyone who exalts himself will be humbled, but the one who humbles himself will be exalted. Then he said to the host who invited him, "When you hold a lunch or dinner, do not invite your friends or your brothers or your relatives or your wealthy neighbors, in case they may invite you back, and that would be your repayment. Rather, when you hold a banquet, invite the poor, the crippled, the lame, the blind. Blessed indeed will you be because of their inability to repay you. For you will be repaid at the resurrection of the righteous." The Gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. In our time, Mother Teresa was really like number one, first place in society for humility, but Pope Francis is coming up there. He's really there. He's a living witness as descendant of Peter, vicar of Jesus, a living witness, and this homily is not going to be about the Pope, but I'm going to refer to him. Of humility. And I don't have to give the examples. You know, I love the example of him not wearing, the red shoes, the Prada shoes. He just wears his brown old shoes. Going back to the hotel to pay his bill. All those things that have been in the paper. His washing the feet of kids in a detention center. But authentically, a man who is right on top, teaching us the principles of Christian living. And he is literally, in his life right now, doing things like Jesus suggested 2,000 years ago, inviting the poor who could not invite him back, and having meals with those who could not repay him. He hangs out with he greets the lame, the cripple, the child, the disenfranchised. This has to make an impression on our world. Nothing against any of his previous predecessors. But we need this right now in the world. We need an example that's Jesus in the flesh, in a sense. And again, the focus of the homily is not Francis, but he is a leader for us, and he is an example and a role model. And if it starts from the top, hey, listen, a lot of things started from the top in other areas of our world that are pretty garbage-oriented. They always say the fish stinks from the head down. Well, this fish, the bark of Peter, the ichthus, smells wonderfully from the head down. And he's sending those rays of peace, those rays of humility, those rays of example to all of us throughout the world. And I think it's up to us to knock on the world's doors to remind ourselves what we are supposed to be all about. And thank you for the gospel today, Jesus. Again, a reiteration of what you are all about and what Francis is all about in so many ways. Even calling for the World Day of Peace today, calling for a World Day of Peace next weekend, that we pray, and this was during his Angelus, the normal time people gather and they fill the Piazza San Pietro with tons of people. They all want to see the Pope. He waves to the Pope in his room, and he comes out and he changes the format. He interrupts because he wants us to realize we have to stop what we're doing, ongoing behaviors by society, by our governments, by different religions, and work and pray for peace. And he asks us throughout the world, on next weekend, the vigil of Mary's birthday, the birthday is September 8th, the vigil is the 7th, that we stop and pray and fast and do something peaceful as an example. Today, coincidentally, we have sisters who are from the Little Sisters of the Poor, and they'll be speaking to you later on after Mass. The Little Sisters of the Poor, again, another like highlight in our ministry. Poor, a highlight in our ministry as people on earth. The respect that Jesus is, I'm not going to even say suggesting, the respect that Jesus is mandating of his church for the poor, for those who are the migrants, for those who have been uprooted from their own countries and forced to live in tents in another country because of war and insurrection and religious intolerance. This world is in a messy place right now. And we have to depend on our faith in Jesus, but the role that each of us has to play is very, very important. And our role, if it's not contacting your political representatives, it is also prayer as a world. And it's also action in our own cities, in our own towns, in our own pantries, to remember what Jesus is talking about. And he gives us this wonderful example. Now, Jesus is being observed. You get that from Luke? Jesus goes to the wedding feast. We don't know if it's a wedding, but it's a party. And he's being observed. And guess what? He's observing the groups as well. And the show-offs come in, and Francis even talked about this he refers back and forth to it. He talks about the careerists in the church. Religious people who are trying to get ahead, maybe to wear a ring, to wear a red dress, to wear a cap, who knows what they're seeking. But the careerists in the church have to be pushed back to the last place. He gives us this example. They come to the party, and all those who are wearing the right clothes and the right jewelry get up front, and they struggle to be noticed. And Jesus is saying, when you guys go to a dinner or a banquet, take the last seat. This way, if they raise you up, they give you honor. Great. And now don't use this as manipulation. Don't give me this false humility that is very common. Oh me, yeah. We used to have these award dinners at the university, and at the end of the year, the kids who worked hard and did special projects and achieved special notifications and notoriety got awards. Okay, and sometimes I loved the university, but that was their system. They're full-time, full-salaried advisors. Now get that, full salary, full-time advisors. Also got an award, for being their advisor. And they'd go up on the stage, oh, I never knew this was coming. Are you kidding me? Every year you got one of those. If you're a really true advisor, if you're a really true example, give the award back when they were in the planning stages, when you had your name engraved on it, and say, no, don't give me the award, give it to somebody else. Or use the money for a banquet. Speaking of banquet, another source of humility. Mother Teresa of Calcutta, when she was given the Nobel Peace Prize, they were going to have a big banquet for her. And she mandated that the money from the banquet go to Calcutta to feed the poor. Her honor was to take care and feed those who could not be there. That was her honor, and to her glory and God's blessing. You got to tell another story of Mother Teresa, not only me. Now you tell, I got to do humility. We all got to do humility. I got to really, really practice it, okay? Because I don't have enough, okay? Years ago, when I was at DePaul High School, Lent was there, and we had collection and I had the seniors choose which charity they would collect during Lent for, okay? And they would go around with the cans and so on. This was at the high school. So they were studying key Catholic people in the senior year of theology, and they selected Mother Teresa. Oh, great. So we showed films on her. We let that the ministry of Mother Teresa in Calcutta at that point be known throughout the school. All the kids knew it. Okay, so we got a lot of money, maybe $5,000. I don't remember the exact amount. So it was my job, once the collection was done after Easter, to get the check and send it to Calcutta. No big deal. So, okay. Now this shows a lot of my lack of humility and a lot of my own prejudice, which I hope by now is cleaned up, has changed. Okay, so I'm in the office of the school, and everything is going on. It's a very busy place. Okay, it's DePaul High School, and I'm on the office phone. The secretary's here. Kids are coming in. The principal's in there. They're all talking at once. Okay, so I call. I look around. Where's her closest convent? At that point was St. Anthony. No, it wasn't even there. I called Newark. I said, listen, sister, I said, this is Father Scurti. I said, I'm from DePaul High School and sending money to Mother Teresa. Could you give me her address? Simple request. She says, call this number, Father. It's in New York. It's the other convent. It's okay. I mean, and my gut was, if I put an envelope that said Mother Teresa, Calcutta, India, it would have gotten there. But I wanted the address. Okay. So I said, okay, I'll call New York now. And this, I'm humiliated as I'm saying, not humble, humiliated as I'm saying this. I presume a woman comes on the phone. I presume she's a sister. Hello? I said, hi, sister. I said, I'm Father Scurti. You know me, I talk fast. Father Scurti, New Jersey, blah, blah, blah. I've got money. Give me Mother Teresa's address. Thick accent. But let me write that down. I'm losing my patience. I mean, the place is noisy. They don't have a number. They don't have her address. I'm losing my patience. I said, okay, sister, I spelled out the name, spelled out the address. Okay. Then she says, wait a second. I'll get information for you. Another nun comes in. Again, I'm presuming they're all nuns. They were. Okay. Hello, Father Scurti. At least this one knows my name. Listen, sister, I want to make this very simple. All I want is Mother Teresa's address in Calcutta. We got a few bucks, I want to send it to her. Like, let's rush this along. Totally wrapped up in myself. Wrapped up in the quote, good deed. So we got to be careful about false humility. Okay, so we got this money, I want to send Mother Teresa. So she says, well, Father Scurti, why don't you bring it? I said, sister, the ticket to get to India is going to cost more than the $5,000 that we're going to send you. She says, no, I am here in New York. Come here with some of the children who collected the money. I said, hold on. I covered the phone. I said, quiet! I said, I'm talking to Mother Teresa, I think. So, get back on the phone. Sister, is this Mother Teresa? Yes, Father Scurti, this is Sister Teresa, and I'm visiting here 2 more weeks. Come with the children. So we brought a van full of kids to the following Saturday to St. Anthony's in Harlem. Now, we're show-offs, okay? We're coming from the suburbs. We're going to Harlem. We're going to bring charity. It was the Bronx, not Harlem, it was Bronx. And we ring the doorbell in the seedy area. They were all, and this little nun comes to the door in a blue, tattered sweater, patches, holes, and she opens the door. She says, can I help you, Father? Because she could see that it was us. I said, we're here to see, we're here to see you. It was her. She answered the door. Mother Teresa of Calcutta, world known. Everybody knew her. A Nobel Peace Prize winner. Answered the door. Brought us into a large room where there was a nice table. We sat around the table, and she said to the kids, tell me how you collected and tell me why you collected money for the poor. The kids weren't as, impressed. Some of them, they still write to me, but some of them, another nun. So they talked about what they did, and how they collected, how they fasted, didn't eat stuff on Fridays, they put money in here. And she thanked all of them, and she said, would you like to pray? Yes. So she brings us into their chapel. There had to be 30 kids, and me, and a parent, and a principal, the principal's mother. And we're in the chapel, knelt down, she and I knelt down at the sanctuary. Now, I'm with Mother Teresa. At that point, I knew my place, right? I really did. Finally, clunk, 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 it hit. You're second place, at least second, to Mother Teresa. She's sitting here, I'm kneeling next to her. She's kneeling, I'm kneeling next to her. I'm waiting for her to start the prayer. Father, would you lead us in prayer? You know humility when you're in the presence of it. She could have said anything. She could have said the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That would have been enough. She asked me to do it. She respected and honored the role of a priest. We prayed together. We went out the front door. It gets better. And as each kid is going past her, they're greeting her and this and that. And she's what's his name? What's her name? Okay. And the last person to come out was Pat Flaherty's mother, the principal's mother. An elderly woman, and she had a pair of rosaries. I got to put the book down so you see this. She had a pair of rosaries in her hand. And she said, I was sitting here. She said, Mother Teresa, would you bless these rosaries? She gets the woman's hand. She turns it toward me and says, Father will bless the rosaries. She had no cameras. There was no spotlight. There was no newspapers. You see humility? Once you see it, you know what it is. And from then on, I've learned humility myself, and the absence of prejudice, and the open-mindedness. And with a pope like we have now, it's all coming back to all of us. That's our obligation, to be people who serve the poor, who go out of our way to take care of those in need. It's our mandate. And as the letter for the Hebrews comes, tells us today, we don't greet Jesus in a flame of fire on top of Mount Sinai. No, we greet Jesus in person. We greet Jesus in sandals and sneakers and at the soup kitchen, at the next door neighbor who needs us. That's where Jesus is. He's not in the great cathedrals any longer. The sacrament, of course, is there, yes. But we want to meet Jesus humbly, depending upon him, coming before him. That's where he is. Where we cannot repay. We cannot be repaid for the goodness that we do. We cannot be repaid for the love we give. We cannot be repaid for the food, the generosity, and the dinner we share. And when we can't be repaid, we are by Jesus himself.